Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your July 2020 horoscope for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I do recommend this for your rising sign. But before we get into this, I want to mention that I am offering a class that is currently available in the Facebook group Astrology class with Daquan Jones. And this is an online format where you can go lecture to lecture, and there are assignments, there are quizzes in there to help you understand astrology. I will also occasionally be going live in the group as well. So if that is something that you are interested in, I will leave the information down in the comments as well as the description. So let's go ahead and get into this. So starting off here in July 2020, we are starting the month off on the 1st of July with Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. So we have had Saturn here in Aquarius in this month of 2020, and we have had Saturn retrograde in Aquarius since May of 2020, where this has really been a time of going back, reflecting on our reality, bringing up the past, bringing up the old reality that we have been in, and we are really diving deep into our old reality as Saturn is retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn, where we started off this year with that big Saturn Pluto conjunction in Capricorn that was the catalyst for this massive change in our reality. And so this has been a major breakdown of our reality. This has been a major change and uprooting in who we are as a collective. And as Saturn has moved into the sign of Aquarius, it has shifted the focus of our reality from the government and the systems to the people. Remember that Aquarius is the sign of humanity, where this has been a focus here on uniting us together, on us supporting one another as one collective. And this has really been the test here as Saturn has entered into Aquarius is, are we going to step up and unite as a collective to work together to support one another as the people holding the responsibility to actually serve and support one another. And as Saturn retrogrades back into Capricorn, it is bringing up the past of where we have been before. And especially for those of you with Gemini rising, this is going to be a Saturn retrograde in your 8th house, where this is big time bringing up these deeper, darker areas of your life. And so this is going to be a big time of really going in and reviewing your fears, reviewing your blocks, reviewing your trauma, your pain of where you've been and what you've been through, and really revisiting those chapters and making sure that those blocks are being removed. Really going in deep internally and going through this transformation process. And this is strongly being highlighted by the full moon lunar eclipse that is also going to happen here in your 8th house of Capricorn. So on the 5th of July, we have the ending of this eclipse season. And remember that this has been a 3-part eclipse season that started with that lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on the 5th of June, which took us to a solar eclipse in Cancer on the solstice, and it is closing here with this full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn. And so this is really a big time of shifting. And this started off with really shifting in your relationships and how you were dealing with others. And this is coming even more deeper into your intimate relationships and how you can connect on a deeper level. And so really at this moment for you, Gemini, you are going in and you are having to connect deeply internally with yourself and facing your shadow, facing your inner darkness, facing your pain and your obstacles and your fears to find this deeper level of intimacy within yourself so that you can form deeper connections with others. And so relationships are strongly being highlighted for those of you with Gemini rising. Another big thing that many of you have going on here is your actual security that is being highlighted. At the start of this solar eclipse in Cancer that happened there on the 21st of June, it really has been this new beginning in terms of your finance, in terms of your security. And this is unfolding here in your eighth house, where you are bringing in resources, where you are bringing in this fulfillment and this connection and this true depth into your life. And so, in farming your security and farming your new foundation, you are actually internalizing these resources. You are bringing in this wealth and this true deep connection into your life. And again, this is a big time for you to go in and work on yourself internally, to work through those difficulties, those fears, those blocks, so that you can farm this deeper connection within yourself. So, this really is a big time for you, for those of you with Gemini rising, and for some of you, you may feel as though you resonate with this if you are a Gemini sun or moon. But especially for those of you with Gemini rising, this is really a big time of this internal change and transformation that is unlocking the wealth and the intimacy and the true connection that you are seeking internally. Now, moving on here to the 12th of July, we have Mercury stationing direct in Cancer. And if you have been following along with these monthly horoscopes, you know that we had a Mercury retrograde that started here on June 18th. And now this is Mercury in its completion, where this has been just about a month here with Mercury retrograde, where it is coming direct here in the sign of Cancer. And this really is, once again, this reevaluation of your security, of your structure, your foundation, your self-worth, really looking at your stability and where it is coming from. What is it that you value? What is it that brings you that true worth in your life? And so really coming into this space now, this is a big time for you to start putting in place those changes that need to be made in order to build that firm foundation, that firm security, that firm self-worth, where you are truly holding yourself to the value of who you are, which again is connected to that eighth house, where you are going through this process of really working on that true deep connection, that true transformation of really going in and facing your shadow, of facing the deepest parts of who you are, so that now you can form these deeper connections with others because you have formed this strong foundation and security within yourself. On the 20th of July, we have a Cancer new moon, and this is our second Cancer new moon because remember that we started this eclipse season with a Sagittarius lunar eclipse. We did not start it with a Gemini solar eclipse. And so this is going to be our second new moon. That first one was that solar eclipse in Cancer, and that solar eclipse in Cancer was that catalyst to enter into the change, into the new beginning of your security, of your self-worth, of this deeper connection. This new moon is starting us off into a new lunar phase where this is another opportunity to find that self-worth, to find that security, to find that foundation, those values to stand on that truly are serving you and benefiting you to the highest, greatest good. Because remember that we had that North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn before May 5th, where we shift the nodes, where these eclipses are still clearing out that energy from that North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn. So even though on the 5th of May we entered into that new moon that North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius, we are still clearing out the old karmic cycles and patterns of that South Node in Capricorn. Where are you still holding on to these structures, to these foundations that are no longer serving you, and not moving to what is truly fulfilling you, what is truly nurturing you, what is truly of the highest worth and value to you? So this is really a big moment of clearing out those old karmic patterns and stories that we have been through here since last year. Now, coming into this, This is opening you up to new possibilities of bringing in wealth, of building up your self-worth, your self-esteem, of really finding that true value and worth in who you are as an individual. Now, on the 22nd of July, we have the sun in Leo. And so this is a sun that is lighting up your third house. And as a Gemini, the third house is your traditional house. And so this is really lighting up the way that you are communicating, the way that you're speaking, the way that you're getting your ideas across. This is a big time for you in terms of self-expression, of putting your ideas out there, of really connecting and networking. And so this can be a big time for those of you with Gemini rising business-wise to really get your ideas out there, to really connect to those out there who can help you in really moving forward in your initiative and your work life. This is also a big time of really, once again, connected to that self-worth and that value that we are talking about there in your second house of Cancer, to really start expressing yourself from a place where you are holding that sense of self-worth and value. And so this is a big time for those of you with Gemini rising to really unlock your true self-worth. And remember that back in June, it really was a month of needing to make a choice, needing to make a decision of which way you were going, which way is of the truest worth and value to you. And so even coming into this month of July, we're still a little bit at a crossroads where there is a little bit of a challenge here for those of you with Gemini rising in terms of where are you headed? Where are you going? How are you going to connect the dots? How are you getting your ideas in this place where you can express, where you can create the worth and the finance and the results that you are looking for? Because remember that we have Neptune retrograde that is sitting up in your 10th house. And so this is really a time of understanding what is truly worth it to you. What is it that you truly want to present to the world? What is the role that you want to play? What does your career look like? What do your goals, your ambitions look like at this time? Do they serve you? Do they not? Because remember that with that Neptune retrograde, there's a lot of discernment here that needs to take place in terms of your goals and ambitions. And even with Chiron sitting in your 11th house, there is a lot to say about really understanding who you are networking with, who you're connecting with, and how you are reaching your goals and your future plans. Because this is really an area where there is a lot of this worry or stress or doubt or fear in terms of really getting towards that abundance, towards that wealth, towards succeeding and reaching your goals. So that was your transits. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at your cards. And I did pull this month from the Rider Tarot deck, the Connolly Tarot deck, and the Black Moon Astrology deck. So starting off here with the Rider Tarot deck, the first card that we have is the Emperor. And so this is a big time to own it for those of you with Gemini rising. This is a big time to own who you are, to stand in your true power and worth, right? And we talked about that a lot with that solar eclipse and Mercury stationing direct that is happening there in your second house, where there's a lot here in terms of needing to look at your self-worth, to look at your values, to make sure that you are standing in your true worth and true stability, truly expressing yourself in confidence and worth, knowing your worth at this moment here for you, Gemini. Second card here is the Magician, really going along with that, where the Magician is your card, right, Gemini? This is really a time of really understanding how to, once again, network, how to get your ideas out there, how to express yourself, how to hold that self-worth. And a lot here in terms of those of you who are looking to build up your career, who are looking to go to the next level in terms of your job. Are you really standing in true confidence and self-worth to really get your ideas out there and really create those results that you are looking to have? So remember that you are the Magician, that you are here to create. With Pisces sitting up there in your midheaven, You really are here to create, to bring your dreams into reality. And so know your worth, know who you are, right? And it's interesting that we have the Emperor here that is dealing with that confidence, dealing with that dominance, dealing with that self-worth. And next to it, we have the Magician, which is your card. And so are you really standing in your true worth? Are you really standing up for who you are, really putting your abilities out there, really showing others what you are capable of? Next card here, and we talked about this, where this is really a time of, once again, understanding what direction are you taking. And we talked about this a little bit in the month of June, where are you still at this crossroads of not knowing where you are headed, not knowing what the decision or choice is? So this is a big time of really evaluating your choices and decisions and the path that you are going to take. What is your plan of action here for those of you with Gemini rising? Last card here is the Six of Pentacles from the Rider Tarot deck. And this is really a moment, once again, of putting your ideas, your talents, your gifts out to the forefront, showing others your true worth, showing others what you are capable of. This is your time to serve with your gifts and talents in your special way. And so, are you in this space where you are continuing to doubt or continuing to fear what you are capable, what you can do in this moment? Are you not believing? Remember that Neptune retrograde in your 10th house. Are you telling yourself a false story? And especially with this North Node that is now sitting in your first house, are you not owning the destiny that is connected to you truly being who you are and truly showing others who you are in your self-worth and in your confidence? From the Black Moon Astrology deck, the first card we have here is Virgo in reverse. So many people here not, once again, using your skills, using your talents, right? Interesting here that we have Virgo and then we have this Six of Pentacles, very much connected here when we are talking about service. That are you actually putting your gifts and talents out to the forefront? Are you actually showing others what you're capable of? Remember that Virgo is a very practical sign. Virgo is about what can we do to get the practical results. And so are you putting your abilities and your talents out there? Next card here going along with that is Mars. Are you standing up? Are you moving forward? Are you pushing your talents out to the forefront? Are you taking the action? And huge time to do this as Mars is in Aries. So Mars is at home at the moment where you have this energy, you have this passion to go for your goals. Because remember that Aries is sitting there in your 11th house of your hopes, wishes, and dreams being fulfilled. And so are you pushing forward to your highest goals and achievements? This is your time to act on what it is that you want to create. But again, the issue here that we're seeing here is this Grand Cross. You are at a crossroads. You are stuck, right? And even going along with this lunar eclipse in reverse, we're not willing to change. For those of you with Gemini rising, you are stuck at this moment. And so what does it take to change, to grow, to move out of this space? This is the big question for those of you with Gemini rising. It is a big time to reassess and to really look at what are the changes that need to be made, especially during this Mercury retrograde that is happening here in your second house. It's a big time to really look at what are your goals, what is your self-worth, what are your values, what are you after, what is it that you want to accomplish here, what's the direction? From the Connolly Tarot deck, our first card here is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this is really not a time to rest. This is really not a time to sit back and to sit in this confusion and this worry. This is a big time for you really to let go of all of that weight, all of that pain, all of that agony that you are sitting in, right? Ten of Swords really is that ultimate agony and pain that needs to be released, as 10 is our closing number. And so there's a lot here in terms of needing to let go of this internal baggage, this internal weight. Next card here is the Page of Swords in reverse. And so what is it that you are telling yourself? What is the negative self-talk? What are the thoughts that are stopping you from moving ahead here? And this is a big time of reevaluating your thoughts, really looking at your thoughts, especially as the sun is going to be entering into your third house here on the 22nd. And so big time to think about your thoughts, big time to think about, are your thoughts negative? Are they positive? Are they serving you? Because especially on the 22nd, as the sun enters into your third house of your thinking, this is really going to shine a spotlight on whatever you are thinking. And so are you ready for your thoughts to become your reality? And we saw that with that Magician card, where this is a big time of creating your thoughts, bringing your thoughts into reality. Big time for manifestation. And so big time to really watch out for what you are thinking, what you're believing, as it will unfold into your reality. King of Pentacles in reverse. And again, we talked about how there's a lot of change that has to happen here in terms of your self-worth, in terms of your security for many of you here. And so this is really a time where those of you with Gemini rising, you are sitting in this space of lacking the security, lacking the self-worth. And so this is time to turn this around and be the master of your security, of your self-worth, to really find that joy and value in who you are, to set that solid foundation. Last card here, once again, going along with this confusion, going along with this block that you are stuck in here, is the Seven of Cups. So again, we're talking about being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice, a decision to move ahead. And so what is your choice at this point? What is the direction that you're moving into? What is it that gets you out of this place that you are currently stuck in? So big time to really consider where you're going, where you're headed, how you're going to make your goals a reality. For those of you with Gemini rising. So that was your July 2020 horoscope for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. And feel free to join the group Astro Metaphysical Love and Light on Facebook. It is a free group where you can share your spiritual wisdom, motivational advice, peace, and love. And I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.